I have to say this range of question actually shows the wildly partisan nature of the Democrats' proposal. The record should reflect all three of the Democratic witnesses invited by the chairman maintained to this committee that voter ID laws can be, in many instances, in most instances, I think of the various ways they formulated, are racist. So let me tell you who disagrees with that.
During this hearing, Senator Ted Cruz zeroed in on Democratic witnesses who argued that Texas voter ID laws disproportionately harm voters of color. Cruz took issue with that claim immediately, and the exchange quickly became heated. Cruz started by asking one witness whether they believed voter ID laws were intentionally discriminatory. The witness explained that data shows the laws affect minority voters at higher rates and create barriers that don't impact all communities equally. Cruz interrupted and pushed back hard. He asked, "So you think the entire state of Texas is racist?" The witness responded that no, the issue wasn't about labeling all Texans. It was about recognizing that certain policies have unequal effects. But Cruz didn't let it go. He repeated the question, framing their position as if they were accusing millions of Texans of racism. Cruz argued that voter ID laws are simple, common-sense requirements that exist in many states, and he insisted the laws are not discriminatory.
35 states across the country disagree with that because 35 states have voter ID laws in effect. But not just 35 states. 81% of voters in America disagree with the radical views proposed by the Democrats and the Democratic witnesses. Not just 81% of Americans. 77% of black voters in America support voter ID laws. 78% of Hispanic voters in America support voter ID laws. Maldev should think about that. 81% of low-income Americans support voter ID laws. And yet, what this bill is about is putting radicals in charge of saying, if you require an ID to vote, that is racist and must be struck down. This is all about partisan power. Now, DOJ has also said, under the Biden administration, that it is not going to presume that a state acts lawfully if it simply returns to pre-COVID voting laws. Ms. Reardon, Mr. Van Spakovsky, what does that tell you if they say after a pandemic, if you go back to the laws that existed before, DOJ is not going to assume that that's okay? What does that tell you about the partisan nature of DOJ?